Welcome to the podcast, the video, the audio. We're just glad you're here. I'm Dr. George Flynn. This is Win with Flynn, and it's a great day. And I see a lot of people, and I have heard a lot of comments about people saying how much they enjoy this series. So thank you for being here. What I want to talk to you today about is the power of being positive. Now, I need to hear this as much as anyone else. So it's a message that you can hear over and over, and you always get something better out of it. It's easy to become focused on what's wrong in our lives, the challenges, the setbacks, the things that really make life difficult. They're out there. And I want to challenge you to shift your focus. Because if we stay focused on the negative things, we get more negative things. I want you to stay focused on the positive part of life. Look at the blessings you have. There are miracles out there waiting for you. You just might as well be excited about it. There are mountains in front of you, yes. There are miracles out there also. Now, I understand sometimes life hits you hard. Perhaps you've lost your job, or you have a family member, or a friend or a neighbor that's going through an illness, or you might be battling discouragement and fear and anxiety. These times it's natural to ask, why me? But I want to tell you something. In Romans 8:28, and most people know the verse Romans 8:28. But do you really know it? Here's the verse. And we all know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. Now, most people leave out that second part. And most people just stop with, and we know that all things work together for good to those who love God. And we leave out called according to his purpose. Well, what does that mean? It means that even in your darkest hour, God is working for your good. You might not be able to see it. And sometimes you can't even feel it. You lost your job. Maybe, just maybe, it's an opportunity for something better that's on your way. That job had to be out of your way so you could take this new opportunity. What about that illness? Well, that illness is not the end of your story. Actually, what it is the beginning of a testimony of God's healing and God's strength in your life. So look at everything that you might have lost, and think of the things in the past that you thought were the worst thing in life. And I've got some things that I thought were the worst thing in life that ever happened. And they happened with time to be the best thing in life. Remember, you've got the future to look forward to. And your best life is in the future. It's not in the past. You can say, I had a great life in the past. Your best life is for your future, is today, actually. It's not the end of the story. It's the beginning of God's healing and strength in your life. Let me tell you about a lady. Lady named, we'll call her Mary, because that's a fairly nondescript name. I mean, a lot of people are named Mary. We have the Virgin Mary. We have a lot of people named Mary. And a few years back, this lady Mary lost her job. Just lost her job. One day, boss came in and said, and she thought the boss was coming in to praise her and give her a raise. He said, Mary, we've got to let you go. Nothing more. She'd been there for years. Let her go. Well, in addition, her husband left her that same week. And she lost her job. Her husband left her. And she felt utterly defeated. And to make things worse, not having a job and her husband not supporting her, she lost her house. She had to move into an apartment, and not a very nice apartment. But she made a choice. When she was in all of this, she wasn't feeling great. She was feeling kind of terrible and defeated and depressed. But she decided, and she made a decision. And a decision means to cut off other possibilities. She decided other possibilities were not for her. She was not going to let her circumstances of her job, her husband leaving her, and her losing her house wasn't going to define her attitude. Not at all. She was going to remain positive. She was going to keep her faith. She was going to believe God had a better plan for her. Well, what did she do? Did she sit at home watching TV and hearing sad songs on the radio and just feeling bad for herself? Well, remember, she had decided to have a good attitude. So this lady, fictitious, named Mary, who could be anybody, Joni, Jean, you can come up with any name, Mary, she started volunteering at a local charity. Well, what she was doing is a classic thing, and she didn't even know it. She used her time to help others. She was using her time. She didn't have a job, remember? She was volunteering at a local charity. And she turned her pain into a purpose. She used all of that time and everything she had, turned it into a purpose of helping people associated with that charity. And you know what happened? Within a year, she found a new job. I didn't say next week. I said within a year she found a new job, a better one than she had lost. She suffered a loss of a job, and now she had a better job. She discovered this strength that she didn't know she had. She became a positive person, a beacon of positive, not just for herself, but for those around her. And what I'm saying is, don't focus on your problems. Focus on the possibilities that your problems bring. Don't dwell on the mistakes. Dwell on the mercy of God. Stay positive. Keep your faith. You are stronger than you think. And remember the verse, and I bet you know exactly the verse I'm going to say. With God, all things are possible. And notice, I didn't say with God some things are possible, and I didn't say occasionally things are possible. I said with God, all things, that includes everything, is possible. And let's remember, for I know the plans I have for you. That's what the Lord says. I know the plans I have for you. And these are plans for you to prosper and not harm you. The plans to give you hope for a future. Stay positive, because the best is absolutely yet to come. Now remember what happened. You may be in the face of losing a job. You may be in the face of losing life savings. You may have to do something positive for yourself but you may lose your life savings. You may be back to where you originally started. And you may lose your home. You may lose your family. Your friends may turn on you. What do you do? How do you stay positive? Well, you use that pain. We've talked about this. What do you do? Use that pain to help other people. In other words, focus on other people. Don't focus on yourself. And as we used to say, waller in self-pity. That's easy to do. The hard thing to do is stay positive and help others. Now, why do I say it's hard? It's hard in the beginning. Because once you do it, you'll find, well, I'm here. I don't know if I should be here. I'm doing this volunteer work. I'm not getting paid. Once you do it, things won't change immediately. Once you do it 1 week, you'll say, well, okay, I can go. 2 weeks, okay, all right, I'll go. I'll be positive. 3 weeks, well, I'm looking forward to going. I think it's going to be fun. 4 weeks, man, I can't wait to get there. It takes about 4 weeks for you to change that attitude of, poor me, why is this happening to me again? And staying positive, because the positive aspect of it is that it will, yes, your volunteering will help other people. But who will it help the most? It will help you the most, because you have taken care of yourself and you now find you can trust yourself. But more importantly, maybe, just maybe, now I'm not saying definitely, just maybe this circumstance that you're in is requiring you to stay positive, and it's requiring you to keep your trust in God, in the Lord. Maybe it's saying, okay, let's see how you do this. Let's see if you can do it. And developing that habit, maybe it's a way of God's bringing you back to Him. Think of it as going to Him and saying, I can't do anymore. I'm all yours. Do what you want. Maybe that's God's way of bringing you to trust Him. And maybe the situation won't resolve rapidly. It will resolve, but not rapidly. And maybe it's God's way of training you to stay focused on Him, to believe in Him, and let Him know that you are trusting in Him. And that habit, once you have 4 weeks of that or 5 weeks of that it will become a habit. And you will become positive, more positive every day. And you will get the benefits of that, the positive outlook. You'll get a better job. Your friends will look at you and say, I want to be around her or him. They're positive. I don't see how they do it, but I want to know more about it. And I want you to think about these things. If you have any negativity, look around you. See how much you have to be grateful for. And go ahead. It's okay. God won't mind if you thank Him. He will be happy to hear from you. I'm Dr. George Flynn. I appreciate you being here with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.